I'm not gonna cry here. Randy Moss. Randy Moss. Better known to all of us by one word, the freak. He was a freak of nature. On and off the court, Randy Moss gave you everything he had. Everything. Well, if Randy Moss isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, what's a first ballot Hall of Fame? He's first ballot. I know a lot of people gonna say, man, they did that to rub it in T.O.'s face, and then they just did that to get at T.O. and because T.O. didn't get in. Maybe they did, but is he not first ballot Hall of Fame? He is truly what a first ballot Hall of Famer is. This is the greatest football player to ever play the game. People always say, man, who's your favorite football players of all time? Number one was Barry Sanders. I always had Barry Sanders as my favorite football player of all times. I came up during the end of Walter Payton's era. So I remember the 85 Bears and those seasons, but Walter's seasons was all before I was even, his greatness was in this past. So watching Barry Sanders, I knew there was that we have not seen another Barry Sanders ever again. Once he left the game, you never seen another one. Now you got Randy Moss. Randy Moss was more than a guy who could stretch a field. He was a guy that was everything you would say you want a receiver to be or have. He had it. Everybody talk about, oh, he was only 4.3 speed. That dude can run a 4.1. That's a 4.15. If you want to see what a 4.15 look like, you look at Randy Moss. Is he a better wide receiver than Jerry Rice? Absolutely. Jerry and Randy were different. Hold on, because I'm gonna get off disturbed here. Jerry and Randy Moss were different. Randy Moss could run all those routes, but it would be senseless. You don't use a Lamborghini to do things that a Ford, you know, I wouldn't say that a Chevy Cavalier would do. Jerry Rice could run different routes, run them to perfection, button routes. He could play both sides. He could do all that. But you do not send 4.1 speed to run those routes. They have guys they hire and draft to run those routes. So it's not that Freak didn't know him. Freak didn't have to run him. I don't think these the same shades from the pick. Same type though. So when they would sit him for routes, he redefined that. They put double safeties. Double safeties never existed. Two safeties over the top and a corner. They never had these formations. They had to come up with everything they could to try to contain one player. Yeah, they are. Augustine. They're definitely not in my favor right now because nobody was even here, even got a notification that we was live over here. See, when I say greatest of all time, I know it because you haven't seen another one. Prime time. We we ain't seen another prime time. Um, we ain't seen another Randy Moss. We ain't seen a Barry Sanders. We ain't seen these three yet. So I just wanted to thank Randy Moss. Randy Moss, to me, I think he's just beyond anything anyone could really imagine. He went from where he come from, ran West Virginia. They're not even listed as a city, really. They're unincorporated. They don't have a police department. They don't really have nothing. Yeah, if you moss somebody, you catch that bomb on top of them, moss them. Bo Jackson, another favorite player of mine. Can't forget Bo. Bo is the Bo is the epitome of a lot of different things. If Bo would have had a longer football career, we've been talking about one of the greatest players of all time, hands down. He was clearly the greatest athlete we've ever seen. Bo could do everything. And still can now. That's how Bo was. Well, some people are elite. They're born with a certain just skills and gifts that what made Randy different was Randy Moss, the free. He had Randy had the footwork, he had the hands, he had the speed, he had the knowledge, he had the jumping ability. He was everybody thought he was weak on the corners. That was the routes. You can jam him up. He's real weak. That wasn't true. And that's how a lot of a lot of defensive backs end up defeated because they underestimated Randy. He had all the tools, and you couldn't do anything about it. It was something special because he took over the whole season of 1998. In 1998, this man just took over the league. Could Terrell run a full 1.5? If Terrell could run a full 1.5 and could he jump out the building like Randy? No. He was a physical corner. A physical receiver. He ran his routes great. T.O. could run every type of route. You could mentally take him out of a game. He had a lot of drops. He didn't have the hands like Moss, but he did say he played with a broken hand, and he produced everywhere he went. That's just him. Right. T.O. was a problem for guys, but Moss, these guys are both Hall of Famers. Nobody's going to take that away. You never heard me say T.O. is not a Hall of Famer. He's just not Moss. He's not the freak. They're close in touchdowns. Freak just have a few more touchdowns than Terrell Owens. Stop saying Randy didn't produce in Oakland. Like Oakland was dominating, and Randy didn't do anything that he was supposed to do. Randy Moss had 1,000 yards receiving his first year in Oakland. His second year in Oakland, he was injured. But his first year there, he had 1,000 yards receiving. He only played 2 years in Oakland. He had an alcoholic quarterback and Kerry Collins out there. He taking a swig of the bottle. You got an alcoholic out there slinging passes. No, everybody knew he was an alcoholic. Once he put down the bottle, they did a whole story on him. They gave him another chance, I think, with the Giants. But yeah, he was a drunk. Oh yeah, he used to light Green Bay up because that's why Favre was ticked off. He always wanted to play with Randy Moss, and Green Bay was supposed to pick him up, and they had a chance to get him, and he was working with Brett Favre. Him and Favre was like, man, we have got to get you in Green Bay. When he was down there in Oakland, and he was like, we got to get Randy Moss. He went up to the office of Green Bay and said, I don't care what you got to do. We got to get this guy right here. And Green Bay was like, nah, we okay with what we got. We don't need Randy Moss. The next year, they let the New England Patriots get Randy Moss, and the rest was history. And you know who was pissed off? Brett Favre had to sit there and watch Randy Moss tear up the NFL. For the New England Patriots, toe it up. He getting like 4 touchdowns a game, and Brett Favre is like looking at them like, you mother. We could have had him here at Green Bay for nothing. Do you know? And this is part of the problem that they had in Green Bay, and the reason they kept shooting themselves in the foot. You had a guy who's trying to get championships, trying to win, and trying to do the right things, and you guys are not doing right by him. So it was just blatantly obvious at that point. It's like you guys weren't even trying. Top five receivers: uh, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. And from that point, buddy, it gets really difficult. Largent's in the top 10. He's not in my top five. No, Moss, then Rice. I got Randy number one. Then there's Jerry number two. Then from three to five is very difficult. It's very difficult. Because then, I got people I like, that I thought were very underrated receivers. But it's T.O. number three. Uh, I don't know. It's real hard to put T.O. at number three for me. I mean, is he better than James Lofton? Is he better than Steve Largent? I don't know. Is he T.O. top five? Probably. Then you got to look at Lynn Swan. You got to look at all these guys that did it. Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Is T.O. better than Calvin Johnson? No, Michael Irvin ain't. Playmaker ain't that high. No. I'll put him with Sterling Sharp. I mean, Sterling Sharp, I got him over a playmaker. Mm, man, that's a tough decision. I'm gonna say Art Monk, number three. Terrell Owens, number four. And I'm I'm gonna go with a favorite of mine, AC Anthony Carter. I'm just gonna ride out with that. That's my list. I did see Steve Largent. Are you kidding me? Oh, you must be talking to somebody in the chat. I'm like, who are you talking to? I did see Steve Largent play. He had to play on a terrible teams, but I saw Steve Largent. He was like Tom Waddle. They caught everything you threw. They were great at route running, buddy. Randy didn't do everything the right way when he was in Minnesota. When he was with Coach Tice and doing everything with Danny Green, and it was just not a good fit no more when Danny Green was gone. things start to, they started to just let Randy do what Randy does. Just like let Randy be Randy, man. Don't even worry about it. But he matured. He showed you guys he was more than what people were saying about him. And I'm proud of him. Real proud of Randy, man. He retired. He had to get his family and everything back in order, and I'm proud of Randy Moss, man. Really am. Came a long way, did a lot to make me proud. We didn't get the ring, but Hall of Fame first ballot. See, that's forever. That's forever. A lot of people winning championships. You never even knew one. But Hall of Fame, that's forever. So I'm gonna go and get out of here, y'all. And y'all have a great day. I just wanted to do this for Randy. Yeah, I came in. I was up on Randy, and I saw a little bit of him in Marshall. It was '98 when he got drafted. I saw the draft, and they were telling me they were telling everybody that the Dallas Cowboys are selecting Randy Moss. And when he got selected by the Vikings, I saw him actually get drafted out of anybody else. I saw Randy get drafted, and I was like, okay, well they drafted this guy Randy Moss. All right, that's the kid from Marshall. Yeah, he looked pretty fast. Got to the NFL. First time I ever seen him play, I said, "Is this real?" It was all over. He destroyed the league. He said he was upset he went so low in the draft, and he said he was gonna set the league on fire, and he did. So 84, 81, you did it. One of the smartest players, greatest teammates to ever play with, Randy Moss. The freak.